Good morning, ma'am. I am criminology student Vanessa A. Salva. In this video, I will be discussing the definition of swimming, the different personal safety, hazards in the aquatic environment, as well as its management, the four types of swimmers in need of rescue, the different rescue equipment, and rescue techniques. So let's get started. The definition of swimming. Swimming is a form of exercise that involves strokes and movements that allow a person to move on or under the surface of the water. It is the propulsion of the body through water by combined arm and leg motions and the natural flotation of the body. The different personal safety. 1. Learn to swim well enough to survive in an emergency. 2. Never swim alone and swim only with a buddy who has the ability to help when necessary. 3. Swim only in supervised areas. 4. Follow the rules set up for a particular pool, beach, and waterfront. 5. Learn the simple and safe reaching rescues. 6. Know how to administer artificial respiration. 7. Know your limitations and do not overestimate your ability. 8. Stay out of water when overheated or overtired. 9. Stay out of water during the electrical storms. 10. Dive only to known waters of sufficient depth. 11. Do not substitute inflated tubes, air mattresses, or other artificial supports for swimming ability. 12. Always swim a safe distance away from diving boards and platforms. 13. Avoid long periods of immersions and overexposure to the sun. 14. Take instructions under qualified instructors before participating in any aquatic sports, such as skiing and scuba diving and water skiing. 15. Call for help only when really needed. The different hazards in the aquatic environment and its management. Number 1. Cramps. Cramps are sudden and involuntary contraction of a muscle. Usually affects muscle between two joints. Cramps are usually caused by three things: dehydration or electrolyte loss, overexertion of the muscles or exhaustion, and unnecessary tension. A. Stomach. B. Back. C. Leg. Management of cramps. Number 1. Prevent muscle cramps by stretching the muscles to be used in swimming, such as the arms and legs before going in the water. 2. Cramps may also be prevented by having a proper meal and drinking before swimming. 3. When cramps occur while swimming, minimize the activity on the affected muscles and get out of the water as soon as possible and stretch the muscle until it relaxes. 4. If getting out of the water immediately is difficult, perform survival swimming and stretch the muscles until it relaxes. Then proceed to the task of getting out of the water. 5. If cramps persist, call for help. Continue performing survival floating while waiting for rescue. Number 2. Exhaustion. Exhaustion occurs when the body's energy has run out and the swimmer has lost the ability to move his or her body enough to continue swimming. There are a lot of factors that may cause swimming exhaustion, including lack of proper nutrition, stress, sleeplessness, and swimming without conditioning the lungs and muscles. A. In reaction to cold water. B. After being in the sun for too long. C. For swimming when very tired or over fatigue. D. For swimming too long and too hard after a long distance swimming. E. From being dehydrated after a tiresome sports. F. From any combination of these factors. Management of exhaustion. Number 1. If the swimmer is too tired to swim, he or she should simply perform survival floating to recover some energy needed to swim back to safety. 2. The swimmer should not panic since this will expend more energy and he or she may lose consciousness. He or she should slowly and steadily make his or her way back to safety. Number 3. Waves. Waves are ridges or swells on the surface of the body of water, normally having a forward motion. They are unpredictable even in good conditions, thus swimmers should take caution when entering water with waves. Management of waves. Number 1. The power of a wave is at its peak when it breaks in shallow water. At this point, the water in front is sucked up into a wave form. The swimmer should use this force and dive forward and under the wave. He or she will simply rise up right behind the wave as it breaks. 2. Do not panic as this may lead to exhaustion and the waves will overcome you. 3. Look for channels, which are the narrow and usually deeper areas where waves aren't breaking and where the incoming water has to escape back out to sea. Do not swim against the channel. 4. Concentrate on breathing. Do not inhale huge amounts of air because you will find it harder to dive under the waves. 5. If these attempts fail, call for needed help. 4. Marine life. These are animals that consider water as their natural habitat. If a person happens to disturb their natural habitat while swimming, they will activate their defense mechanism that may harm the swimmer. Sea urchins, stingrays, and jellyfish each have their own defense mechanism against possible dangers. The poisonous venom from a sea urchin or a jellyfish or a powerful electrical current from a stingray may cause death for some persons. Sharks are a hazard if one swims in the sea or ocean. Management. 1. Know the area. If there are sharks, sea urchins, jellyfish, or stingrays, do not attempt to swim. 2. For a sea urchin sting, try to remove the spines with your hand. Wrap around a clean cloth. Neutralize the injury with vinegar, then soak in warm water. Monitor the area for a few days after the injury. Seek medical help if the sting did not heal for the next few days. 3. For jellyfish stings, the first things to do are not panic and get out of the water immediately. Do not touch the affected area with your hands. Wash the area with salt water to remove the remaining tentacles. You may also scrape them off with an ID card. Deactivate the stingers and the venom by applying vinegar. Then baking soda after ice may be applied to slow the circulation of the venom. Take antihistamines in case of allergic reactions. Seek medical attention if the victim is having trouble breathing or has other symptoms. 4. Seek medical attention immediately for stingrays or shark attacks. The 4 types of people swimmers in need of rescue. Number 1. Tired swimmer. Calm and will reply to the spoken words. 2. Panic swimmer. The factors of panic swimmer. Poor swimmer, frightened and frantic. Must be approached with situation. Contact should be avoided. Speed is important. Will remain in the water for several minutes. Non-swimmer. Lacks the ability to remain at the surface and generally will submerge in less than a minute. Unable to call or wave for help. Must be recognized on the basis of his inadequate movement and facial expression. Unable to grasp an object thrown nearby. Speed in rescuing this type of victim is very essential. Number 4. Unaided or unconscious victim may float at the surface or sink at the bottom. Speed is utmost important or necessary. Breathing may have stopped and artificial respiration must be started as soon as possible. Safety and rescue equipment. Number 1. Lifeline. These are buoyed lines that mark and separate swimming and diving limits. In an emergency, it can be used as temporary support to a tired swimmer. Booms. Number 2. Booms. They are made of good lugs and chained together that are often used to enclose an entire swimming area, especially in streams and rivers. It serves as the breakwater and in an emergency offers support and protection. Number 3. Rain buoy. A throwable device considered as a standard equipment used at the pools and beaches. It is an 18 inches diameter buoy made up of solid buoyant plastic and weighs about 2.5 and grab line and the 50-foot retrieving line are made of 1/2 inch polyurethane. Number 4. Shepherd's crook, a reaching device and known as the oldest piece of good rescue equipment. The blunted hook is large enough to encircle the entire body of the victim and is unconscious and unable to hold on. The use of lightweight aluminum is far more effective and usable. 5. Heaving line. Any strong line properly coiled and thrown can be used to extend the rescuer's reach to 30 to 40 feet. The lines are lightweight and they have a larger knot or a monkey face on the throwing end. 6. Safety post. A homemade safety post can be constructed from easily obtainable materials and should be set near water or any point where swimmers might get into difficulty or in trouble. 7. Backboards. Spine toward rescue equipment at all swimming facilities. Spine boards can easily be made from inexpensive materials, varnished with several coatings of a good spar varnish, and should be kept ready. Exterior or marine 3/4 inch plywood, 18 inches by 16.5 feet, should be rounded at the corners and equipped with hand tie-down holes to provide handholds and a place to rescue restraining straps. Runners should be attached to and run the length of the bottom of the board to make sliding the victim out of the pool easier and smoother and save the rescuer's fingers than placing the weighted board down on the deck. Rescue techniques. Number 1. Assess the situation and remember your training. Be calm. Pinpoint the subject's position. Make sure medical aid has been summoned if it appears needed. Keep curious bystanders from interfering with the rescue effort. Number 2. Planning the rescue quickly and calmly. Prescribed pattern of rescue. A competent lifesaver follows a prescribed pattern, planning his rescue and must consider his options before any action is taken. The pattern followed is called the order of methods of rescue. It starts with the easiest and the most common and progressive to the more difficult situation. The reach, wading or assist, through, row, and go.